Today is production day because we are serving, I believe, 35 people in the class next door. Of course, we remember this class works in tandem with the hospitality class. So on any given day that we're doing a specific cooking method, they're doing a specific service method. So their service method today is Russian style. Russian style is where you bring a platter and you make people's plate like at the table. So it makes it a little easier on us in the kitchen because we don't have to do a la carte where we need 3 or 4 entrees and 3 or 4 sides. We're really making one dish. But in planning a menu, it makes it a little bit more difficult because you need one thing that most people would like. We can't start doing sweetbreads and beef tongue and offal meats and things like that when you've only got one choice. So today, because it's Russian service, I have decided that we're going to do a chicken Kiev. Chicken Kiev. So I don't want to make true chicken Kiev. I want to do something that's a interpretation of it so that we don't get all that butter that leaks out. And one of the things that I thought about was spinach. We've got a good amount of spinach in there. Let's do a stuffed chicken breast. All right? Now, if we take a spinach, saute some spinach, onions, garlic, whatever we would like, stuff it into the chicken breast. In other words, put portions on the flat chicken breast and gather it around. Turn it upside down on the pan. Then when we slice it, I think about that. My concern would be that the spinach is all kind of fall apart. Because again, Russian service, they're going to have to be able to pick up a piece of this chicken and lay it down on a plate. I don't want to see the spinach diving off the end of the pan. So what do we need to prevent that from happening? Some sort of binding agent, exactly. So if we're going to stuff this with spinach, sauteed spinach, what might bind it? Rice might bind it. Some rice and spinach, but we're probably going to serve it with a side of rice, so that might be a little redundant. Any other ideas for binding agent? Cheese, excellent idea. How about some Asiago cheese or anything that would be good and melty that way? One other idea for a binding agent. We've done roux in the class. How about a white sauce? How about a real thick bechamel sauce? So now we start designing entrees based on the methods, the cooking methods that we know. We have some vision, we interpret what might happen. So you just say, well, we're making chicken Kiev today, and you take room temperature butter and put it in the chicken and deep fry it. You're not going to have any butter left. So you start to anticipate, okay, I'm going to need some other bulkage, if you will, in the middle of that chicken. Let's use some spinach. Okay, now I'm thinking the spinach is going to fall out. What do I need for that? A binding agent. This is how you start writing your own recipes. Here's another thing. Chicken Kiev is normally breaded. I'd love to do a 3-step breading procedure like I showed you before. Seasoned flour. The flour sticks to the chicken. Egg sticks to the flour, crumbs stick to the egg. So now if we're going to have a breaded spinach, we're going to serve rice on the side, so we'll forget that. Breaded spinach bound with cheese or bechamel, chicken breast, what do we think the best cooking method for this is? We list some of our cooking methods that we've gone over: saute, grilling, boil, simmer, poach, steaming, pan frying, roasting. Right? These are almost all the methods that we've covered in this class so far. This is your repertoire. This is your toolkit as a professional chef. All right, so we got a breaded stuffed chicken product. Is this something that we saute? Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Putting the breadcrumbs under direct conductive heat, you're going to get basically burned breadcrumbs and chicken that's not cooked. So I wouldn't think direct conductive heat would be a good idea. Let's get rid of saute. Something that we grill?
I would say roasting. I was going to say pan frying.
Okay, we're not going to grill it. Boil, simmer, poach. We don't want a moist method with a breaded product, certainly. Steaming, don't want a moist method with a breaded product. We come down to pan frying and roasting. Let's choose between them. Again, imagine sauteed spinach in the middle of the chicken breast, put together, breaded, panko on it, pan frying. putting them in oil. What do you think an advantage of that would be? Yeah, I think it'd be really nice and brown and crunchy. However, too long in the oil and the crumbs start to burn a little bit and the chicken doesn't cook all the way through, right? How about a benefit of roasting? Why would we choose to roast it? Yeah. Yeah. Makes it a lot easier to lay it on a sheet pan and put it in the oven, right? It'll still get brown, right? We'll still have that nice crunchy texture. One of my concerns with pan frying this item would be, again, kind of like deep frying. Am I going to lose any of my stuffing? Am I going to be working at it with a spatula, you know, to get it out of the oil? Am I going to have to cook multiple batches of this? We do 35 of them, and we're either going to have to get multiple pans going or multiple batches. Your oil starts to degrade after multiple batches. So I'm thinking, considering all that we've learned, roasting this item might be the best thing to do. And especially in a production kitchen, imagine if we were doing this only for 35 today, but imagine if we were doing it for 150 or 200 or 500 in a catering kitchen. You want to sit there with a little pan of pan-fried oil and do them 2 at a time when you got to do 500? No, we'd stuff them, we'd prep them onto sheet pans, go on a rolling rack, and then in the oven. So I think this is what we're going to try and do today. Roasted chicken Kiev. Right, which is going to start with a saute of spinach, onion, maybe garlic, either a bechamel or cheese if we can find an acceptable cheese in the walk-in. We'll put these all together on a sheet pan, we'll roast them in the oven. Be nice and crunchy, cook all the way through. I think it'll look really, really nice.